Pond Water WebQuest. Today we're going to categorize organisms using a hierarchical classification system based on similarities and differences shared among groups and compare characteristics of taxonomic groups, including archaea, bacteria, protists, fungi, plants, and animals. Today we will focus on the domain Eukaryota, kingdoms Protista and Animalia. We'll be separating these microscopic organisms into each kingdom. So out of the three domains, our focus today is Eukaryota, and we're going to be looking at the animal kingdom as well as the Protista kingdom on a microscopic level and separating the organisms. So we have a website that is going to take us through our tasks today of pond life identification. So let's go to our first task, task 1. We're going to do a virtual pond dip. So you're going to click on this link and it will bring you to a pond water sample. And we're going to list all the species in the jar that are Protista, or from the Protist kingdom. And then we're going to make a separate list of all the species in the animal kingdom. And we'll click on the pictures to gather information to classify each species. So let's click on our virtual pond dip. And inside here, this is really cool. So these are the organisms that we could find in a sample of pond water. And you're just going to simply click on each organism and classify it as a part of the animal kingdom or part of the Protista kingdom. So let's click on this organism. So here it's telling us the organism is a hydra. So this is what we would type. But then we would read this information about the hydra to understand what class, the classification, the kingdom that it belongs in. And here you can see that the hydra is going to, under classification, belong in the kingdom Animalia. And if you wanted to get some further details, you can look at an introduction or a video clip of it as well. So if I click there, there's more reading on the hydra, and there is a picture of the hydra. And going back, we could actually, I think, just click backwards, but let's see what they have on the video clip of the hydra. So here you can see different pictures of the hydra. And then going back, I'm going to go back to our reading, and I'm going to read a little information. So hydra attached to surfaces like water plant stems and the undersides of floating leaves. The hydra is very distinctive with tentacles. If a jar of pond water with some weed is left to stand for a while, the hydra, if present, may be seen by eye attached to the wall of the jar or the vegetation. They're often pale brown or green, and the underside of the floating weed like duckweed is particularly a good place to find them. And so what you want to do is go back to your assignment, and we said that the hydra belongs to the animal kingdom. If we go back, you can see here kingdom Animalia. So you would type hydra here. And remember, the hydra reproduces asexually by budding. So a whole new hydra can bud off of that parent, and the hydra would be identical to the parent. So you're just going to return to your virtual pond dip and do this and go through each organism to classify it either as a protist or an animal. So if we wanted to go back, we can go back here now and click on this organism, and there you go, and he's actually moving around here. So water flea, Daphnia, and you would look for the classification here and read about the Daphnia, and of course you can click on these links to read a little bit more. So I hope you enjoy your lesson today with classifying microscopic organisms either as a protist or an animal.